Welcome back to the show. Now, at a time when working life's getting faster and more complex, everyone needs to clear the mind and develop focus. It's an absolute must for high-performance work environments. The words of Elizabeth Broderick, just one executive, singing the praises of this book here in my hot little hand, Mental Resilience, The Power of Clarity. It's published by the Warrior Monk Group, which is pretty apt when you consider that the subtitle is How to Develop the Focus of a Warrior and Peace of a Monk. Now, it's taken Kamal Sarma 4 years to write, inspired in part by a near-death in-flight experience. To talk more on that and plenty more besides, Kamal joins me now in the studio. Kamal, you distinguish clearly between managers and leaders who are following one route and another versus, employing some of this and really getting a nice balance of the two. How is that possible?
Sure. What happens is that, you go from a technical expert to management to leadership. And what people do is, you earn the right to be a technical expert. You earn the right to manage. But the locus of control changes with leadership. People choose to be led by you. Why should people be led by you? Most people don't understand that, and it's through clarity. I think management's about doing it right, and leadership is about doing the right things. And you can only do those things if you've got that clarity.
The certainty.
That certainty. Yeah. And so what most people do is they create that certainty from outside themselves. I call it either chocoholic, workaholic, or alcoholic.
Yeah.
Now, if you're creating that certainty from outside yourself, you're really not leading yourself. What meditation is about, what mental clarity is about, is creating that sense of certainty. So no matter how much disturbance you're finding outside, you create that certainty from inside yourself.
You use the analogy of the glass of water with some dirt in it. To begin with, it clouds the water.
Right.
You stir it around and you don't have that clarity, but it will eventually settle.
Yes.
But it is still there. You're not pretending you're going to absolutely alleviate the problem.
Correct. This doesn't make the issues go away, but what it does, it gives you the power to really make a decision based on your values. What most people are doing are making a decision based on the clutter that's wandering around in their mind.
How long optimally does this take? I mean, what's the minimum time period spent? Because things like yoga, you've got to take an hour, 2 hours
Sure.
to sort of prepare, go through, unwind. Compare it with this.
I suggest you can start with 5 minutes. Try sitting still for 5 minutes and just focusing on your breath. That is powerful. I suggest a 20 minute to really get into the whole scheme of things. And it's amazing how quickly you start to develop a really powerful practice.
In that respect, practically, what is an approach to follow from all of this? Just walk me through how you do it each day.
Yeah. So you can't just come in from work and go, boom, I'm just going to be absolutely still. That doesn't work. Like, we warm up to do exercise. We warm up before we do something. The same way, you need to get your mind ready to be still. So the first thing I teach is just to be physically still. Think about it. How many people are physically still? You're not physically still when you're in bed, are you? Have you gone into meetings and somebody's continually flipping the pen or shaking that leg? If we saw a dog or a horse continually shaking their leg, we'd probably shoot it.
You use the bed analogy. Sorry, RSPCA. You use the bed analogy. Don't you say, though, set about doing this in bed or lying on the bed, because you'll probably drift off.
Yes,
right? You've got to be upright to do this properly. And seated well. Okay, so it can be in the lounge room, it can be at the desk. Any optimal position for that? It's all about posture.
Sure, The first step is lying down, so being physically still lying down. Then once you've mastered just being physically still, then you sit up and then you start to still your mind. But you need to still the body first. You can't still the body. Sorry, you can't still the mind without stilling the body. And that's where we go into meditation position. And that is a posture that assume that gives you a sense of centeredness. And that's how you start your journey.
Turn off the phone when you're doing all of this. You don't want any interruptions.
That's right. That's right. And most people struggle to do that because we're not designed for Blackberries. We're not designed for 24/7 emails. So just to sit down and shut up to a certain degree, to shut the mind.